How are we going, everybody? Now, a lot of emails have been coming through regarding citrus trees. Some of you are struggling with them, and admittedly I've got a couple that are struggling as well, and I thought, well, let's talk about them, because one of the main problems that people are finding is that the citrus trees have got no leaves and lots of flowers. What to do? Now, we're looking at these ones here at the moment, which are got a bit of leaf and some fruit on them as well. They're not the healthiest of trees. Well, not the most vibrant, I should say. They're healthy, but they're just competing with so many things around them, especially the weather. Now, you'll see here, for starters, we've got a bit of rust on these leaves. I just noticed this now. This sort of thing here, you can spray or simply just cut them off. Like that, just get rid of that so you don't have to worry about spraying. It shouldn't be on all the tree. It'll be on one or two leaves or half a dozen leaves here and there, depending on the size. So just remove those leaves to start with, and that way you'll be able to combat that without having to use a spray. Now, the spray, if you want to go down that path, is a bluestone-based fungicide spray, or otherwise an oil spray. That'll suppress the spores as well. But simply removing them is a good way to control it. It won't get any worse. Now, this is flowering. I've got the irrigation turned on now. We've had a few hot days and it's been quite windy as well, so the citrus trees don't really like it. The ones over here are doing well. There's an orange, there's a grapefruit, there's a lime tree completely covered in fruit and flowers as well, which are doing well. But you'll see the adverse weather effects that we've had. They've actually shed some leaves as well, which means that they have copped a beating. But the one that's copped the biggest beating is the one over there. This area here is an open area, folks, and it cops a hell of a beating. Now, you can tell it's been moist here because the grass is a lot greener. It's growing a lot better than the areas around it. So that's where the drip line's coming through, but that doesn't mean the tree's happy about it. So first thing that I don't like is competing against grass. So you've got to feed them well and make sure they're deep watered. And secondly, they don't like the high wind. Now, if you've got a tree that's doing this, lots of flowers, and no leaves, absolutely no leaves, it's going to kill the tree. It will continue to try and push its flowers on to produce its fruit, to produce a seed, to produce the offspring, but that's not what we want to do here. It's too young a tree to be doing that, and obviously with no leaves, it's not going to survive because there is no photosynthesis going on. So what we got to do is basically prune the tree right back. That's the first stage. So we're going to cut this right down. Also, if I just shake it a little bit, half those flowers will fall off. And that's the other part to this, folks. We're going to cut, I'm going to get rid of that. We need this to start again. It's not healthy and it's not going to survive if we don't do this. So a tip prune all the way around. Don't be too pedantic about where you prune it. I mean, obviously try and find an outward facing bud and things like that. But at this stage here, we just need this to survive and bring on some leaves. Now, second to that, we're going to knock all these flowers off. You can do it by hand, or you can just go around with the secateurs and nip them off like that, or you can get little Leia to come along and bite them off, because she's teething, folks, and always looking for pieces of wood or something to chew on. And also look for dead, diseased and damaged wood, because more than likely when it's something like this, there'll be a bit of dead wood like I have here. I'm just cutting it all off now. You can see the dark brown sticks that they are. Look at this. There's no life in that. It's dead completely. There's another one just there, gone. And the tip here, get rid of that and cut that off there as well. We've got a little lemon. What's the point? Take it off. Take these tips off. I cut it off earlier there, but I'm going to cut a bit back. The aim here is to actually get it to shoot off again from the base. We don't need it to grow from the tips, because we want the growth to come out from the bottom of here, so that we can get some new life into the tree and some nice new shoots on it. Good feed too. I've got to mow this lawn before I feed it, but what I'd feed it is some compost, our superfood and black root, that combo. It'll work, and we'll do that, and we'll come back and visit this tree in a few weeks and see how it's going. So if you've got a lemon tree or any sort of citrus tree, folks, and it's got nothing but flowers on it and no leaves, it's imperative that you take off the flowers. If you like, you can leave a couple of flowers on there, but if you don't take the flowers off, well, the tree's going to try and grow them to develop its offspring and then give up and die. And that's not what you want. So that now, no leaves, it's got no flowers to feed, no energy is going to the flowers. What is it going to do? Well, I can tell you something for sure. That's going to burst out into foliage and growth, we hope. So we'll come back and check this out in a few weeks, maybe a bit earlier. It's a Eureka lemon. They're not a bad lemon. They're a big, thick rind sort of lemon. Sometimes they're not as juicy inside as the Lisbon. Good thing about them is they're thornless as well. So if they do produce any thorns, it'll be very little, very minimal. So there's no fear, whereas opposed to the Lisbon tree has nothing but thorns all over it. And it's pretty hard to get inside there. So lemon trees are everyone's favourite and always one of the hardest plants to grow. I do have a good one growing over there, by the way, so don't think that I can't grow one. I can grow them, albeit in Lethbridge. This one here, cleaned off, no flowers, no leaves. The leaves will come back, give it a good feed and a good water. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasili, Maresi.